Hey guys, welcome back to another Battlefield 6 news video, and today we got a new major update for the game, which is 1.1.1.5, and this includes some important bug fixes and also a few tweaks here and there. So we're gonna get over everything that you need to know that was changed, and also a few more things that were not specifically mentioned in the update, but that were fixed or tweaked as well. But first of all, a little heads up for all PlayStation players, because right now there seems to be an issue that after installing the update, some of your files like multiplayer, RedSec, campaign and so on seem to be not installed, but they only show up as not installed. They are actually installed. I don't know if this has an effect so that you cannot play the game. Just let me know in the comments below, because I'm not playing on PlayStation. I just read the heads up from Battlefield Bulletin and also from Battlefield Comms. So right now when you're getting into settings and then system, where you can usually install and uninstall different parts of the game, you might see every box unchecked instead of checked, and it shows up as not installed. This is something they're looking into right now and will hopefully have a fix for this soon. But now getting into the actual patch notes of this update. So the most important part, or like the three most important topics right here, is that first of all, they fixed the recon drone and sledgehammer exploit that you had when someone was standing on the drone and then hit it with a sledgehammer, and then they've been launched into the air with a drone. And this allowed some players to get onto rooftops and into spots where they should not get to. But now this was fixed, and I also tried it on stream if it is actually fixed, and yes, it seems like it is actually fixed. And also during the games on stream, I felt that there was a difference and you were not randomly shot from players sitting on rooftops or on the bridge on Manhattan anymore. What was also fixed are the lock-guided missiles that did not get countered when met with enemy countermeasures, such as flares. So these are the missiles that were disabled just a few days ago, and now they are fixed and should be enabled now. So you can use lock-guided missiles against air vehicles on all kinds of ground vehicles again. But your air vehicle, so when you're flying in a heli or a jet and you use flares, this should work as a countermeasure against these missiles now. And in addition to this, they also fixed an issue where vehicles did not spawn correctly in Breakthrough and Conquest. And especially in Breakthrough, this is noticeable because now you have a lot more ground and air vehicles. This changes up the pace of the mode on some maps a little bit, and also the flow, and it actually changes how you will attack or how you will defend, but definitely feels more balanced now and just the way it is intended. So this was fixed as well. And then another very, very, very important point, probably the most important point in this whole update, are the fixes to weapon dispersion or weapon bloom. So here there was an issue fixed where the dispersion would be higher than intended when you go from sprint into firing in ADS. So basically what everyone is doing, you sprint, you see an enemy, go into ADS, start firing, and this caused a higher dispersion than your weapon should actually have. And this also applies to an issue where dispersion would incorrectly scale with movement speed and always assume the player is moving at maximum movement speed for the stance, which means when you were just walking and firing, the game applied the same dispersion as when you were sprinting and firing or coming from a sprint and firing. So the dispersion did not settle correctly after sprinting, and the game also applied a much higher dispersion than you should actually have for your stance. So this should be fixed as well now, and during the games I played, I gotta be honest, it definitely felt different. It felt like my bullets finally go where I'm shooting at and do not just randomly go somewhere else. So there was definitely a difference. It felt pretty good, even though the multiplayer felt better than RedSec or Gauntlet, but I'm not sure if there are other things in place that maybe caused this difference. But just from the weapon gameplay, or at least when it comes to the dispersion, it definitely feels pretty good now. What they also tuned was a landing animation to reduce excessive camera and weapon movement when aiming down sights, which improves visual stability during and after landing. And the update also resolves instances where the aim down sights aim could would be displaced when sliding, which should also be fixed, at least from what I've tried during stream. Then they did some smaller changes to the modes, for example, where at the beginning of a match started with all sectors and objectives active at the same time, in Breakthrough specifically, and for Strike Point they fixed one specific issue on Siege of Cairo where the destruction did not reset at halftime, so really just smaller fixes right here. They also fixed a few challenges that were not tracking or not completing properly. So for example, the shotgun challenge where you have to kill 5 enemies with a shotgun without reloading, which did not complete properly before, should complete now. And also the Engineer Specialist 3 assignment that did not save correctly. And from what I heard in the chat during stream, it seems like they've also fixed some other challenges that were either not tracking or not saving or not completing correctly. So if you got stuck in a challenge or if you had some issues with the challenge, maybe try it out again. Maybe it works now. And then for the audio, the only thing they fixed here is that they activated the Battlefield Pro radio channel that you can access through the Comoros when you are in a vehicle. It did not play a sound before when you activate it, and now it's actually active, and when you use it, it should play a sound and it should play all the songs that are on this playlist. But aside from that, they did not fix anything else when it comes to the audio. No footsteps or anything, nothing. So just that Battlefield Pro radio channel that it was not working. And then we also got a few fixes and tweaks to RedSec. So first of all, there was an issue where when you played quads in Battle Royale, matches did not end after the last team was eliminated. This should be fixed now. They also fixed an issue where being killed immediately after a mobile respawn completed could result in the squad being eliminated instead of reviving remaining teammates. So when you have completed the mobile respawn, even if you die shortly after, it should still respawn your whole squad or your teammates that you were trying to bring back, and you should not get into a squad being eliminated. I had this a few times and I actually thought it was a feature, but turns out it's a bug, and if you had this as well, it's hopefully fixed now. They also fixed an issue where players could become stuck in top-down view after redeploying, and an issue where some players retained their second chance even after redeploying. And also for the UI and the HUD, also only in RedSec, they fixed an issue where all squad members displayed the same highlighted stat on the squad placement screen. And also an issue where the Battle Royale Master Challenge 4 did not track progress correctly. However, it seems like there were a few more things fixed in RedSec, because just from what I read from others, it seems that the audio for plate damage is better now, and that you're no longer morphing through buildings, especially through those buildings that were in the rupture part of the map on RedSec. And sometimes you just fell through them, or you could walk through closed doors and stuff. So you should no longer morph through these buildings. And that was it so far for all of the changes that we got with the new update. There is one more heads up though, and this is for the main battle tanks, and this was pointed out by Battlefield Bulletin. So do not use the gold standard and the Chimera skin on the main battle tanks at the moment. The gold standard is available for both of the main battle tanks, so for the A4 or Leo A4 and the M1A2, and the Chimera, that is part of the Phantom Edition, is only available for the M1A2. And for both of these, or both of these skins, when you use them, can cause an unintended weak spot on the front of your tank, which can cost up to 70% more damage than it should be from a single RPG shot. So if you were wondering why you were downed with 2 RPG shots to the front sometimes, this might be the case. So if you have the gold standard, which is the mastery skin for all of the vehicles, if you have it, don't use it right now, and if you have the Chimera skin, maybe don't use it as well at the moment. I'm gonna keep you updated once this issue is fixed and once you can start using them again. And that was it for today. These were all the changes, all the fixes, and everything else you need to know around this update. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman, and you are awesome.